Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Friday Charge, brought to you by Geek Studios. And as always, we are your hosts, Joel and Sebastian. And today, October 17th, 2025, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got like 2 weeks to catch up on. So let's see here. We're going to talk about some lightning price cuts. We're going to talk about an EREV that's allegedly coming to market. We're going to talk about some cheap new cars, and there's a couple other stories in here. So without further ado, let's plug in and get started. All right, first topic of the night. Ford is cutting F-150 Lightning prices. So in the wake of the expiration of the United States federal EV tax credit, Ford has announced price cuts for its 2026 F-150 Lightning. So the previously introduced STX trim keeps its starting price of $63,345, which that's the new base model, excluding the fleet-only Pro trim. The STX is replacing the XLT trim level in the lineup, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but there's some other goodies here. All consumer versions of the Lightning now will come with, as far as if I'm remembering correctly, they all now come with the extended range battery packs. They all, good deals there. Um, there's no real decontenting between the STX and XLT. It's a good change. Anyway, that price is staying the same. The Flash trim is getting a $4,000 price drop, which means it will now start at $65,995 instead of $69,995. And then the Lariat trim is also getting a price drop of about $2,000, so it's going down to about $74,995. Which all sounds great. I'm excited to see him, keep getting cheaper. And the Flash trim I thought was a pretty dang solid deal at the $70,000 number, and now if it's 65. Joel, do you need a EV6 replacement?
I'm getting the itch, Sebastian. Just scratch it. I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, we'll talk later about Ford and their ideas for extend the EV tax credit. That's a later story. But I'm assuring this is in response to probably the EV tax credit going away. We're going to kind of maybe split the difference of the tax credit on this model or something like that and get it down. But Ford is the number one selling EV out there. If you look up here in this article, it says they sold, and we mentioned this last week, I believe, or a couple of weeks ago, they sold 16,000 Cybertrucks this year. And, that's 38% fewer. They're still leading the way, I believe, in the truck market. So, just trying to boost some sales up. Of course, this is fourth quarter, so we got to start turning some levers to get sales up. And this may be one of them. So, I mean, I'm kind of, I've always been a big fan of the Flash, but that XTX trim, but then again, it's only a $2,000, $2,500 difference. So, or no, not even that. Yeah, $2,500 difference. So I really like that 320 miles. So yeah.
So yeah, like you said, this news does come as the F-150 Lightning is being crowned the best-selling EV truck so far in 2025, and it's hot off the heels of the NACS story. Ford and GM say, "Psych, never mind," on extending the EV tax credits. So after both automakers have previously announced plans to extend tax credits through lease incentives, dealer incentives, etc., Ford and GM have both come back and said, "Never mind," less than a week after announcing the programs. GM and Ford had both worked out a plan with the IRS to place a deposit on all of their EVs currently sitting on dealer lots, allowing the automakers and dealers to claim the tax credit and pass it along as a manufacturer or dealer incentive. Again, worked with the IRS to make this plan. Just want to make sure.
What happens when you make a deal with the devil? So,
but again, got permission from the government that this was above board and was fine. Just want to make sure that's clear. Yep. Shortly after announcing this, U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno, who has ties to a large chain of luxury vehicle dealerships, we're just going to slide that over there.
Very active in auto policy.
Yeah, sent a letter to the U.S. Treasury Secretary condemning, quote, certain car companies who wish to continue bilking the U.S. taxpayer. And then GM and Ford have now both backtracked on the plan and will not be offering the tax credit through dealer/manufacturer incentives. So I have questions. I was under the impression that they've already done the deposits and stuff. So are they just pocketing the money now?
Or do they get it back? Or did they say we were going to do this and then never actually did it?
I mean, I would be under the impression they would have had to go through and do all the deposits and stuff before September 30th.
Yep.
In order for it to classify as sold.
Yep.
So if they did all that work, what happens now? If they're not getting the tax credits, are they keeping them for themselves? Are we just never going to file it and they're just going to eat the loss of putting the deposit on all the vehicles? Like, what's the... I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird because, it's just little...
Don't get me wrong. Their plan was weird.
Yeah.
But if they also got it approved by the body regulating the tax credits, then I don't see anything wrong with it.
It just takes one person to mess something up, doesn't it? Just that one person.
Just
mess everything up. Just one guy. I mean, who has ties to the auto industry. I mean,
to luxury auto industry. Let's just
I said, I don't know the issue. They have permission from the IRS. I mean, there's anything illegal. So they tried to do it behind the back. They went to the IRS and said, hey, we want to do this.
And they said, okay.
I said, fine.
Anyway,
then someone got mad and took their ball and went home. They didn't want to play anymore. So, yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Jeep's planning an EREV. So Jeep this week pulled the wraps off its refreshed Grand Wagoneer lineup, which is not usually something I would give a crap about. But there is now allegedly an EREV variant in the works. Jeep is planning to offer the Grand Wagoneer in 2 powertrain configs, a 3-liter inline 6. A 3-liter inline 6 or an EREV. The EREV will have a 92 kilowatt-hour battery pack paired with a 3.6-liter V6 generator capable of outputting 130 kilowatts. The EREV powertrain is expected to have 647 horsepower and a driving range of nearly 500 miles. However, Jeep has not said any word on towing capacities. The 2026 Grand Wagoneer is expected to enter production later this year, but that will be the inline 6 variant. No word has been given on the EREV. Jeep is just saying, quote, late availability, which is a point of contention for me because every article I've seen talking about this new car has stated, quote, America's first extended range electric vehicle. Golly, the acronyms are hard. How can you call something the first if you don't know when they're going to produce it?
Yeah.
You don't know when they're going to start producing it. Also, how you can call it the first one. I mean, we've had the i3 Rex before. What does Rex stand for? Range extender.
Yep.
Like, we've had other cars before, so how do you say first? And yeah, I don't know. Especially the parent company, Stellantis, has been working on this same exact powertrain for the Ram 1500 Rev, which was formerly known as Ram Charger, which is a much better name.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. And they've been doing it for years now and have just been continually delaying the product. And they can't even launch that one, but now they're going to put that powertrain in another car. But then we're going to act like it's going to come out in time to be the first when they haven't said when it's happening. Anyone can announce something.
Yeah, that'd be like me announcing I'm going to be the first person to walk on Mars. Yeah, there you go. I'm announcing it. So it's going to happen. So
now I actually need to go write a press release.
Yeah, write a press release and let them know that Joel Spencer from the EV Geek Studios is going to be the first person to walk on Mars. And then people can make that
claim and you never have to do it, right?
Never have to do it. So yeah.
And hey, if they do it and if they're the first, that's great. Good for them. But
they have a track record.
Cart before the horse, right?
They have a track record.
Because we also know they're not the only ones working on an EREV.
Yep.
You know, Scout is allegedly doing it. We've got other automakers in the U.S. doing it or talking about it, etc. How can we go ahead and say they're the first when they're honestly kind of the last ones to announce one?
So I wrote down on a piece of paper here. I'm going to hang on my bulletin board over here that sometime within the next year, we're going to do an episode. And it's going to be Jeep cancels the Grand Wagoneer EREV. And I have on here that you will owe me a milkshake when that happens. So,
okay, what do I get if it doesn't happen?
I'll get you a milkshake. There you go.
Okay,
Oreo milkshake. I know what you like. Oh, or the Dr. Pepper ones you like. So yeah.
I almost said, I was like, I will eat a shoe, but I was like, wait, this is the internet. People will make me eat a shoe.
Eat a shoe. I will take a video of me going to the store and buying it for you, putting it on our channel, because we're going to say that they canceled this because that's their track record. We knew it was going to happen with RAM.
Or they're going to delay it for like 4 years. Or delay it
another year, and another year, and another year. So maybe I may walk on the moon before Mars before this happens. So next story.
Next story. Tesla's pushing ads to cars? So Tesla this week pushed a new update to its vehicle fleet, and it's left a lot of people feeling conflicted. I want you to know, just before I say, I have no particular strong feelings on this. It's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on. So this new update contains a new Tron Ares mode, which is a collaboration with Disney for the launch of the new movie. This update allows owners to change the in-car rendering of their vehicle into a Tron bike, as well as adding integration with like vehicle ambient lighting if the vehicle has it, etc. On the surface, there's no real harm to this. I mean, it's an optional theme, essentially, that owners can choose to apply if they want, but many worry that it's opening the door for more in-car advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of Tesla owners that have expressed frustration online that Tesla would go through the effort of putting development time and energy into this versus literally anything else. So my question for you is this, Joel. Do you think this is a nothing burger? Or do you think this is another U2 Songs of Innocence situation?
Well, it's interesting because I'm reading this article from Electric, and they're saying that the reason they're running these ads is they're trying to promote the Tesla shareholders to approve Elon Musk's next compensation package. So,
hold on, are you on the wrong ads?
It says Tesla.
You might be on the wrong article.
There's more articles about Tesla running ads.
Oh no, this isn't TV ads. This is talking about they added a mode.
God, yeah,
did you not listen to a single word I just said?
I know. That's why I was asking. Like, what the hell are you talking about? This has nothing to do with the article that I have pulled up. So, but thinking about that, I mean, I can see the domino effect that we start with this one ad, and then they're like, "Oh, it's kind of like streaming."
And I want to make sure it's clear. This isn't like a direct forced ad. This is they're adding movie content to the car that you can choose to use. You don't have to, but it's being added to promote a movie.
Gotcha. So it's almost like a collab or something.
Yeah, it's like there's a theme you can apply.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar how in the Kia you can have your NBA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. I don't have a problem with this. I don't really care.
I think it's an interesting precedent. I can see why people would be concerned. Like, I think in this implementation, it's not a big deal because you're not being forced to use it.
Yeah.
But I can also see kind of the slippery slope, right? Of, okay, so this time Disney's paid Tesla to put Tron in the movie and it's optional. Yeah. Next time, someone else is paying for an ad to be on your navigation system. Like, I can see kind of where now that they're kind of open for business.
Yep.
Progressing into just, another revenue stream, because ultimately,
and I kind of compare this to the game Fortnite. So I know you don't play it, but if you played Fortnite, when I started playing Fortnite 3 or 4 years ago, they were just normal characters in there. Now they've gotten to the point that they're doing all these collaborations and all these things that the game has become very themed, and that bothers me. Like the map is themed with Star Wars, or it's themed with The Simpsons, or it's becoming too themed. I just want to play a regular map. And I can see maybe the horrible analogy, but I can see that happening to where you open up Pandora's box now, to where now we're selling Tron wallpapers. Now we're selling what other movie we're partnering with, or we're selling, I don't know. It's just, I can see where it could go down a slippery slope if it's not kind of kept its eye on, or you're now are going to have people reach out to Tesla and say, hey, you want to make a couple $1 million? We have a movie coming out about this. Let us put a theme paper wallpaper up for sale or to buy, and we get part of the revenue and you get part of the revenue. I mean, I could see that happening. Like, yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about the article you pulled up, we can talk about the article you had pulled up. I think it's very interesting that Tesla is running TV ads to try to get shareholders to vote for all the stuff that's going on.
So I'll pull back up here. So in case you're not following Tesla, Tesla board has submitted a proposal for, I can show the screen now, for a new compensation package for Elon Musk. And it's what, $56 billion.
It's a crazy number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wish.
So I mean, they're already running ads on X. So if you go to X, you're going to see them running ads on this. So, but now they're starting to run ads on streaming services to promote Tesla shareholders to approve Elon Musk X. Where's up to one live? It wasn't 56 billion. It was 1 trillion. That was way off. So, yeah. This is, I've never seen anyone do this before, but I could be wrong. I don't see Ford shareholders.
Yeah, I don't see other automakers
for Jim Farley
advertising
for doing this. Yeah.
And I don't see other automakers advertising to try to get shareholders to vote.
Yes.
Especially not on TV.
Yeah. I mean, yes, send them to and send your shareholders an email about it. Yeah, that's fine.
Or a letter or whatever. But like,
or telegram.
Yeah. Non-targeted TV advertising is a very interesting.
So I guess hopefully the volume doesn't pop up here. It did. Let me stop it. Let me turn the volume down. Where's the volume on here?
I think it's to the left of the clock and right beside the play button.
Yes?
Nope, right beside the play button.
There we go. So I guess we'll make it bigger. That's a
nope, bottom right. There you go.
So this, I guess, would be one of those ads that we see, flying around talking about Tesla.
I love that it's a recording of someone's TV.
Showing the robo-taxi off because,
That doesn't exist.
Yep. So this is the kind of ad you would see to promote this. If you're listening to us on audio platforms, we're showing one of these ads here. Oh, there's a diner we were at. That was cool. And it says Tesla shareholders. The future of Tesla is in your hands. Tesla 2025 annual meeting. Vote now because it's in their hands. So
anyway, it is interesting, but yeah, that's not what I was going for when I started that conversation.
But it led into another article. So that led into
and as someone who does not own Tesla stock and doesn't own any automaker stocks, because I feel like that's a conflict of interest.
I do own a little, but
really
literally, not much. We can have a nice dinner. So I got it. Like I signed up for Robinhood, and you got like one of those things where sign up and you get free something, and I signed up and got free shares.
A fractional of a.
Yeah. But I get a thing to vote, so I had like 0.562 shares or 0.0. Yeah, so and it's gone up some. So yeah, but I'm not aggressively out there. So. I'm not aggressively out there. I probably could. I'm not aggressively out there day trading stocks. I don't have the time to do that. So
yeah.
But it doesn't matter to me.
I just don't do I try to stay away from automakers because I feel like I can't be unbiased or whatever else if I'm
now
directly putting my money into a
what's in my whatever it's in my like 401k that they're trading.
Yeah,
I don't know. So but
I don't directly do it. I don't have any control over what my retirement does.
I just looked it up. I have 0.00569 shares. Yes.
You're going to be rich one day, Joel.
That's right. I'm taking that to the bank, baby. We're getting me a McRib. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. Let's try to get back on track. Let's get back on track. The EX30 is now cheaper in the United States. So for the 2026 model year, you can now get a Volvo EX30 for under $40,000. Also, I need y'all to remember, this is one of my favorite EVs to date still. For the 26 model year, Volvo is launching the single motor variant in the United States with a starting price of $38,950. Previously, the twin motor variant was the only option in the US, and it started at nearly $45,000. The single motor has 268 horsepower, it's rear-wheel drive, it keeps the same 69 kilowatt-hour battery pack, and gets a very modest range bump, up to 261, versus the twin motors, 253 miles. So you get a whole 8 more miles.
There you go.
I do, unfortunately, have very tragic news. For the 2026 model year, moss yellow is gone.
Would that be the color I'm showing on the screen right now, Sebastian?
That is the color you're showing on the screen.
R.I.P. moss yellow. R.I.P.
I will go weep quietly now.
You always said you wanted the moss yellow.
I did.
And we can't have nice things. So yeah.
Nope. So I will go weep quietly now.
Yep. So
just kidding, I'm back.
He's back.
Anything you want to add, Joel?
It is a really cool car. I mean, the only ones we see in here in Arkansas were like white or gray. I mean,
and I've never seen one actually on the road outside of the one we drove.
I think I've seen one, maybe, and that's it. And it may have been someone just driving around to look at it. So yeah,
and it's such a cool car. The all-wheel drive variant is a pocket rocket. I mean, it's the most fun you can have. Some of the most fun you can have on a four-wheel vehicle. Like there's no, I don't know.
Now it is tiny.
I mean, it's small. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's a pocket. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's such a fun car. I like the material choices and things like that. But
has kind of a Tesla vibe on the inside.
Unfortunately, it just isn't selling super amazing.
Yep.
Or at least not in the US.
Yep.
Moving on. This is going to be a big topic that we should have talked about last week, but we were busy. Tesla has launched the Model 3 and Model Y standard.
Really?
So Tesla last week, a day before the Chevy Bolt event, announced the new Model 3 and Model Y Poor Edition. Standard. These two cars are designed to be the new base models in the lineup, and many are kind of left confused on this. So let's start with the Model Y. And let's just talk about things you lose. So on the exterior on the new Model Y, standard, Poor Edition, whatever, you lose the front and rear light bar, which actually I don't think is that bad because I kind of like the way the rear end looks without the light bar. And I honestly don't hate the look of the front without the light bar either, but I digress. The new lights also don't get the matrix functionality that the Model 3 and Model Y are supposed to have. I'll talk more about that in a second. They also come standard with steel wheels with aero covers. Joel's laughing. I haven't told you the price yet. You'll understand in a second.
Yeah.
You lose the new adaptive suspension from the new Model Y. Instead, it has basically the same suspension setup from the pre-refresh cars.
Oh.
You also lose, in quotes, the glass roof. We'll talk more about that in a second. The front trunk is smaller and no longer weather sealed. Like, has no sealing at all. So don't go through a car wash with stuff in your front trunk or drive in the rain or anything else. You also no longer get power fold mirrors.
You are talking about the Model Y right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to share another screen here. Just want to make sure I have the right pictures pulled up. So
on the inside, the car now has a cloth interior, which I actually don't think looks too bad. Only the front seats are heated. You get a 7-speaker audio system instead of the 15 plus subwoofer on the upper trim levels. You also no longer get FM radio. The rear passenger screen has been removed. The power fold second row is now manual. The rear center armrest is gone, but you can still get cup holders in the second row if you just fold down the center seat.
That's what I have. You fold down the center seat and you get the cup holder. This is like so basically you're getting a 2020 Model Y. Is what you're basically getting.
I'm like, this is like economy car levels.
Yeah.
Like, no, because your 2020 Model Y had the little folding armrest in the back.
It did.
I'm talking the entire seat.
Oh. So, yep, here's some interior pictures we're showing.
The steering wheel is now manually adjusted. And you lose your physical seat controls. There's still power. There's just no buttons on the seat. You also lose your noise and thermally insulated door glass. Okay, earlier I said you lose, in quotes, the glass roof. Let's talk about that. You actually still have a glass roof. Tesla, to keep manufacturing simple, still installs the glass roof. However, they just cover it with a headliner.
So doesn't that increase the cost doing it?
You would think, because now they're having to build 2 different headliners.
Yep.
There's some other weird things. The Model Y standard has a different trunk lid. The rear glass is different. It keeps kind of the old school Model Y curve shape to it instead of being the kind of squared off that you got on the new Model Y. Also weird. Range on the Model Y standard is down. It's now 321 miles on the base 18-inch wheels, or 303 with the 19-inch wheels, versus 357 miles on the long-range rear-wheel drive cars, which are now called premium, by the way, and come standard with the 19-inch wheels. So 357 on the 19s versus 303 on the 19s. Due to the smaller battery, charge speeds are now lower to a 225 kilowatt peak, which honestly isn't that much lower.
No.
And the onboard charger is now 32 amps instead of 48 amps. Weird. And let's talk about the really, really big elephant in the room. The standard car doesn't have autopilot.
Yeah, unless you option FSD, that's basically what you have to do, don't you?
It has adaptive cruise.
Yep.
It has the emergency braking. It just doesn't have auto steer unless you pay for FSD, which means all the hardware is there for autopilot. You just don't get it because you bought the cheap one.
They don't turn the switch on for that.
Yeah. Which means you don't get lane centering unless you buy FSD. And all of this that I just told you in the Model Y standard is still $41,630 after destination and fees. It's $5,000 less than the premium trend.
Yeah, so Tesla doesn't have a good track record with their standard versions of their vehicles.
They really don't.
How long did the Cybertruck last? Like a hot second, and then they pulled that. They tried the Model. They tried the Model 3
before we get too far
range.
into hold on. Before we get too far into this, let's talk about Model 3 now.
Hold on. Let me switch pictures here. I think I can do that. Back to this article. Keep talking. Talk some more.
So the Model 3 standard starts at $38,630, including destination, making it $5,500 less than the premium trim. Like the Model Y standard, it gets the smaller battery with lower charging performance and range. So the standard Model 3 has 321 miles of range versus 363 on the premium trim. It also loses autopilot. It also loses the rear touchscreen. It also loses FM radio. It also loses ventilated seats. It also doesn't have adaptive suspension. It loses ambient lighting. It loses powerful mirrors. It comes with cloth seats and a manual wheel. However, it does keep the glass roof and you can actually see through it. And it keeps the Matrix headlights. So winning?
So I guess you would take a Model 3 then over a Y. So.
Yeah, I think you should buy the Model 3 if you have to buy the standard. Yep. Unless you just absolutely need that range. I want to look up something real quick while you kind of talk about what you were starting to say.
So yeah, Tesla, and if you follow Tesla, they've released standard range versions of their vehicles before. And the only one that's had a little bit of success was the Model 3. I had a Model 3 rear-wheel drive standard range. They tried it with the Model Y. When they released their 4680 sales, wasn't that the introduction of the standard range Model Y?
And I think that was actually technically long range.
Oh,
it was just like long range rear-wheel drive, I think is what they were calling it.
But they did have a Model Y standard range at one point. I believe they did. And I'll look it up here in a minute if I'm wrong. I'll tell everyone. And then they did it with the Cybertruck. They said, hey, we're going to take stuff out of the Cybertruck and have a standard range Cybertruck. And like I said, that lasted about a hot minute. And then they pulled that. The issue is Tesla does great things. They make great cars. They have great tech. But people, I believe, and you could agree with me probably with this, they want something new. They want something that looks a little different, not the same thing just stripped down. I mean, and I think that's And I don't know if they're just putting so much money into robotaxi and the robots that they're not doing that. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand.
This was kind of supposed to feel like, and there's a market, right, for people that want an entry-level car and they want the Tesla, but this is 2026 feels like it's going to be the year that we see a lot of EVs in this price range. We just talk about the new Bolt. We talk about the new Leaf. We talk about, Equinox is already there at $35,000. We talk about I feel like this is going to be the year we start to see more and more cars in this price bracket. And, a base Ioniq 5 that's now $35,000 has the full HDA suite and heated seats. The base Equinox, has XYZ features. Bolt will be $32,000 and have heated seats and maybe Super Cruise and all this. Like, we're getting to the point this year. I feel like we're going to start seeing a lot of cars in this price bracket. And then you have the new Model Y that's $41,000. Which, don't get me wrong, I think the new Model Y probably has a lot of stuff it does better than some of these other cars. But to someone who's new to the world of EVs, how do you sell them on spending $5 extra?
Yep.
But then you also tell them that they don't, on a $41,000 car, they're getting cloth seats with no lane centering and no, like, they get none of these premium features.
Yep.
On a $41,000 car.
Yep.
Also, just as a reminder, so this new Model 3 Standard is a 38 grand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't too long ago you could get a $38,000 Model 3.
Yep.
It had an LFP battery pack. But you could get a Model 3 Highland when it launched for 38 grand. And it had all the normal interior features that you would have expected it to have. And it had autopilot. And that's the other thing that gets me on this. Why would you buy one of these cars versus buying a 1-year-old used one?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Unless you just have to have the new car for lease deals or whatever else. But
new
like,
car smell.
I don't know. It's so hard. Like, if I could find a lightly used long range rear wheel drive or premium, whatever. And it's the same price, why wouldn't I do that? Especially if I'm financing the car or paying cash. Yep. I don't know. It's so I wanted
it's
more.
Frustrating.
If this was cheaper, I think the tune would be different. But especially the Model Y being nearly 42 grand.
I mean, like I said, I don't know what they're thinking. It doesn't make sense. I mean, because if you're sitting here looking at it, I mean, we just saw Hyundai drop all their prices on the 2026 Ioniq 5. I mean, so what I want to bait, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
All the base models from all these manufacturers compromise in several places, right?
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying that Tesla's the only one who options their cars weird or whatever else. Like, just for the sake of the conversation, I'm going to go and pull up Hyundai's website.
That's what I was doing right here while I was talking to you, but I couldn't get it to load.
Vehicles, it's okay. Vehicles, Ioniq 5. Because I do want to make sure I'm not lying to you. I'm not saying anything incorrectly. Trims.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. If you got it, you can share it.
So remind me, I need to remember the 2026 pricing. Hold on.
I'll write it down if you want to tell it to me. Or you copy and paste it into the doc. Because they took substantial cuts on the Ioniq 5. So
okay, so the SE, just write this down.
Sure.
The SE long range is 37.5.
Yep.
Okay, you got it. Good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our base model. I don't want to do the standard range car, even though it's 35 grand. But I'm going to do the SE long range because it's the one that makes the most kind of apples to apple sense. 37.5 is the number we're looking at.
Yep.
So I want to come up here, compare trims. The SE long range is rear wheel drive still, okay. 84 kilowatt hour battery pack, so bigger battery. Less range on paper though.
Okay.
It's 300 it's actually not that much less. 318 miles versus 321. Okay.
Yeah, so you're losing 3 or 4. Yep.
Okay. It is technically less. Let's see. 800 volt class battery.
Better, so it's better charging.
10 to 80 on a charger capable of delivering 800 volt charging and 250 kilowatts is 20 minutes. Just want to see if there's anything on here that I'm like, oh yeah. So it comes with 19-inch alloy wheels.
What about the seats?
I believe those are cloth on the SE trim. Yeah, stain resistant cloth seats. It isn't a power seat though, and you do still get your standard heated seats on the front.
Okay.
Which they're heated on the Model Y standard as well, but only on the front, which is the same. You keep your heated side mirrors on this. You do have your LED headlights and tail lights. They are not matrix.
No ambient lighting.
No ambient lighting. So, I mean, really, they're pretty close in spec. Oh, my battery died. They're pretty close in spec, But this is also $37,000 and not 41.
Yep. And you will probably get some sort of dealer incentive with it. Maybe just be $1,000 or $2,000. You're going to get some sort of dealer incentive with it. I'm sure.
Okay, hold on. I want to make sure before I say this. Safety. There we go. Blind spots. Yeah, and it comes with HDA.
Yep.
On the Hyundai, so it has lane keeping and lane following and the speed limit assist and smart cruise control and all the other stuff.
So you get all that tech with it.
And it's cheaper. That's where my struggle is.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, Joel.
I mean, like I said, they just need to come out with something. It doesn't have to be radically new, just something new, a new name.
Or if they're going to do this much cutting, actually have the pricing be competitive. Yep. If the new Model Y standard was $37,000,
yep, and the
Model 3 would be having a different conversation.
Yep.
Or Model 3 was like, let's say 32 or 33. I think this would be a different conversation because you still ultimately get the Tesla tech. You get it'll be a good car.
Yep.
It just also compromises in a lot of weird ways.
It does.
And there's a lot of stuff on it that just kind of leave my head scratching. And they're little things. It's not anything majorly important, but like, why the heck would you remove the rear cup holders
and cover a glass roof that's already there and then frost it too before you cover it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that. Yeah. So even though the glass roof is still there, even if you cut the headliner out, it's not transparent.
Yeah.
They go through the effort of frosting it, which you would think would cost more money.
Yes. I can understand just frosting it and leaving it open. But yeah, to go through the work of frosting and covering it while it's still there, that doesn't, you're right. It just doesn't make sense. These cars don't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
And I don't think they'll sell well. I don't know. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll say
maybe this is all just so that people see everything that you lose on the standard car and it just gives them to buy the higher trim level.
Who knows? It's to up by you. Yep.
Yeah. Who knows? I am no marketing expert.
All right. Moving on from Tesla.
Let's talk about something more fun. Let's see. What did we do this week?
We took a trip.
We did take a trip. Oh, we said move on from Tesla. Let's not talk about one of the topics from this week.
Oh, we won't.
Unless you want to.
Nah, it's okay.
Unless you want to.
We can just say, we stopped at the Tesla diner. There we go. Move on.
No, not even that. I wasn't even talking about the trip. I was talking about just videos we released this week.
Oh, yeah. We had a Cybertruck review. Go check it out. Okay, move on. All right, let's talk about our trip.
Where do you want to start?
So in case you've been under a rock and haven't caught up on our podcast episode, you're probably wondering why we didn't have a news episode last week. Is because we were coming back.
We technically did.
It wasn't a Friday charge episode, was it?
We called
it.
It was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. If you wonder why we didn't talk about much on that episode, is because we went to LA. So yeah, we're not gonna go into the details about that, but we got to go out and see the Bolt, and Sebastian can fill in. Sebastian was invited. That was his +1. We got to go out to the Bolt premiere in LA on the back lot of Universal Studios. Awesome event. She invited us out. There was only about 30 people there, and that was a mixture of owners and influencers and creators. And
most of the influencers and creators also were Bolt owners.
We're also Bolt owners. So that had to be a specific thing. At one point, if you were invited out as an influencer or creator, you had to have owned a Bolt at one point. So initially, I think Sebastian got invited out as a Bolt owner, and then maybe he got the upgraded package and they realized we were creators as well. So I think we did get the upgraded group brand. I think we went from the purple to the red, which bumped up.
From the very last group.
Went from the very last group to the third to the last group. Yeah. So, but it was a great time. The Bolt looks great. The changes that they made look good. It's now NACS. Outside is pretty much the same sheet metal. Changed some things on the interior to give it kind of more of that Equinoxy look, I would say. But yeah, had a blast and flew out Tuesday, got back Thursday. And it's a trip in Sebastian. What do you want to add to that? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to talk too much about the Bolt event. We've done a couple videos at this point on it. You can go watch those if you really want to know. They're good videos. It's all entertaining. If you want to hear about the actual event and how all that went down, we have, again, last week's Friday Charge episode where we talked about it. And then we also actually did a little quick tour, not review, but just kind of first look at the car while we were there. So yeah, if you want to go see any of that, go find it. It's on our channel. It's pretty easy to find.
But while we were there, what did we get to do?
Yeah, we did a couple cool things while we were there.
Went to Target?
We went to Target twice.
Twice?
Because the first time I went, the stuff I bought wasn't ready for pickup, and then we left, and 20 minutes later, it was ready for pickup.
Yeah.
So we had to go back.
We had to go back to Target.
And then when we left Target, we took a Waymo.
Yep.
For the first time.
Took several Waymos that day.
We ended up taking several Waymos, but that was the first time we had ever done it. Which was pretty sweet, actually. It did a remarkable job. Like, legitimately. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
And from there, after we took the Waymo, we went to the Tesla diner and we got breakfast.
Yep.
And we did a little quick video there. It's going to come out at some point. I don't quite know when we're releasing it. I haven't put it on the calendar yet. I haven't quite decided. But we did a little video showing off 80 charging stalls, dude. And giant movie screens and actually halfway decent food.
It was. Very clean, well managed, well staffed.
Well managed. Yeah.
Yep.
It actually a really kind of cool concept. And so we did a little video of that, which was fun. And we took more Waymos. We took Waymos we ended up going all the way out to Santa Monica and back. And I mean, I can't get over just how surprised I was at how good the Waymos did.
Yeah, and we actually, on the way out, went to one of the EA larger charging stations on the way out there too as well.
Yeah.
One of their larger, was a 20 stall site, which is considered large for EA, I guess. So,
because that's what we do. That's what we do for fun on vacation.
That's
Instead
right.
of doing anything fun, we go look at chargers in a car that we don't have.
We were like 3 blocks from the beach. Did we go there?
No.
We went to an EA charger. So
I wanted to, but I didn't want to wait another 30 minutes to mow 3 miles to get to the beach.
It paid $9 to go $15 to go 3 miles. So.
That said, the Waymo was very, especially compared to the Ubers we had done, the Waymo was affordable.
It did smell like weed.
Comparatively.
But, it's California.
It did smell like weed. That one did.
The
other 3 didn't.
Yep. And also very clean. I mean,
outside of the smell.
Very clean. Go out and check that video out and you can see how the app works and how all the, the screen, everything like that works, the front screen and the back screen. You can kind of see how all that works. And it's the things you can do to customize your ride is pretty cool. It's not that just you get it and ride. There are things you can do with music and temperature and all that. It's really cool.
Yeah. And trying to think if I wanted to elaborate anymore. I think people should just go watch the ride because it does a lot better job.
Yep.
Because there's some stuff in there that is this would be kind of challenging for most humans to do. Not that they wouldn't be able to do it, but it actually legitimately requires logic and thinking. It's not just kind of go, just free for all cruising down it, staying in your lane situations.
It's not hopping on the frame. I mean, we were going through busy city streets. We weren't on an interstate going 50, 60 miles an hour with nothing to do but switch lanes. It had to make some tough decisions, and you'll see what it had to do in kind of that video and things like that. But yeah, we had a blast out there, had a blast in the Waymo, had a blast at the Tesla diner, had a blast at our short stop at the EA station, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
You want to wrap it up for us?
Unless you have anything else.
No, that's
a wrap for today's episode. Thank you all for plugging into the Friday Charge. Be sure to subscribe to EV Geek Studios on YouTube and tap the notification icon to be notified about new releases. Next week we will release something. So if you guys have any thoughts or questions, drop them in the comments below because we would love to hear from you. So long, everyone, and we will see you on the next episode of the Friday Charge.